because I feel like the first single, Atlas, has so much weight behind it and so much meaning behind it, and it's so symbolic for the Gemini project that it needed an artwork that was equally symbolic and was equally as abstract and introspective and immersive like the song is. So I'm very grateful to my in-group for that. So that's just like an insight to the visual, or like a sneak peek of the visual aspect of Gemini. Gemini is a part, like I said, is a part of the larger project Pixel, which will have an accompanying mini film. I'm not sure what to call it, but it's going to have like a visual that accompanies the entirety of the project, a visual album, if you will. I'll be collaborating with an AI artist who I've worked with on my soft drink music video on my YouTube channel named Fegli Ogative. We're going to be working together to really come up with something that is really remarkable and really grabs your attention, holds your attention, and makes it hard for you to forget it once you see it. That's going to develop over the course of the next couple months, and by the time the full Pixel project comes out in March, or around March, it should be ready to go. So I've just kind of been conceptualizing as it pertains to that. I've been working on the little like short visualizers that I kind of put up on social media in the lead up to the next single, or the lead up to the next project. I've been putting those together for Atlas and for the project at large. I mean, there's over 500 pieces of media that I either created, photographed, videographed, animated, practical effected, whatever the hell you want to, all the different EDs, I've been doing that. Okay. Just getting as many different vantage points and different shots, styles as I could to capture, just to get as many different visual approaches to what I'm trying to discuss in this project, which is the existential crisis that kind of hits you in your mid-20s. And not just your mid-20s, but it can start in your mid-20s at the earliest, and this kind of era of life can kind of generally continue into your mid-30s. So anyone in their early 30s experiencing, these symptoms of disillusionment, of like, kind of in a finalization of your identity, and really questioning some of the more negative sides of yourself, but also questioning some of the more positive sides of yourself. Anyone who's going through that kind of experience, anyone who's going through the quarter life crisis, can be really, really be benefited by this project, because that's kind of who I crafted the project for. So the visuals, the sonic aspect of it, all of it is kind of custom for that audience. And it's really been quite a lesson for me in maintaining my own motivation and my own positivity in doing this for my audience, and intending to be this for my audience, intending to be this motivation and this inspiration to them through what for me has been a crisis, and what for most of us, or many of us, is a crisis of identity, a crisis of existence. Waking up every morning, questioning your existence, questioning the way that your life is progressing, and if you're aging appropriately, if you're doing the right things as you age. All these kind of heavy questions that nobody likes to talk about, I've really had to dissect and confront head on in order to make music that is honestly reflective of that experience. So that's been a lesson for me. It's not allowed for me to ruminate and to only ruminate. Sometimes I do ruminate because you have to allow yourself to feel what you feel, and sometimes you feel like ruminating. But whenever I do so, I always try to bring it to a course of action when I'm done, to try to see like, what can be done about this? I know I feel terrible about this, but what can be done about it? Because in most cases, or in many cases at least in recent times, there's generally been some kind of action I can take in response to it, whether that's actually doing something to affect the situation, or something to help me mitigate symptoms that the situation is bringing upon me, and to cope with it better. So yeah, I think that's all the sneak peek I want to give to Gemini, because I don't want to keep beating a dead horse. And I know a lot of what I've just said I've said in other ways, but I always kind of find a new perspective on resilience and what I've learned as anti-fragility. The concept of being made stronger by challenges, and even growing a willingness and a desire to confront them wherever they may be. A willingness to be made stronger by those experiences, that anti-fragility. I always find a new perspective of it, and a new perspective on it, and a new way to understand it as I walk through my daily life, and as I think as I'm being a leader to this audience that I have here, an inspiration to them, hopefully. I want us all to transform and to leave this experience, whatever, however you view your experience, to have this experience, to exist in this experience, and then to transcend this experience, leaving a lasting impact all the while. Kind of what I'm after, and kind of what I want to lead my audience to, and what I try to guide my audience to. And this project, I feel like, is the most crystallized, this Pixel project as a whole. So Flux, Gemini, and the specific Pixel EP, I feel like all kind of encapsulate that mission. And I'm just really proud of that. I have no complaints thus far. Every struggle that I have is worth it. And you guys are going to feel that and see that and hear that in the project for sure. I have here to engage with comments and questions from viewers, but I know my audience and y'all aren't necessarily the kind to, want to immediately hit me with the questions. And so you might want to think about it. You might want to DM me about it. You might want to comment later. That's fine. Take your time whenever you're comfortable. If you have anything to comment at all. I mean, if you don't have anything to comment at all, that's okay too. Thank you for viewing, and thank you for just being I guess a silent watcher, and still kind of understand, your motive and your rationale for kind of how you move, even if you are kind of quiet. So I just appreciate you giving me those signals, those of you who are that way. And I do the work to read those signals. So even if you're not the most verbal or the most outspoken, I still try to pick up on, the different things that you like and favor. So I thank you for giving me those signals, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to learn about how to not just learn about people without just being told by them, what they feel or what they think about something. So engage with comments and questions from viewers. So I don't have any comments or questions. Like I said, I know it's not all your style, so I'm going to move to the next section. And if there's any questions that come, after this, I will answer them as pretty much as quickly as possible. For the most part, as soon as possible, pretty much within the next hour or 2 or 3 maybe, but for sure within the day. Okay. So the next thing I have here is to play a 30-second clip of Atlas. I don't know why I was so Q&A. Make sure you write down questions. Q&A. Make sure you write down. I don't know why I was so harping on that yesterday. I was kind of working with the AI to get all this together. So sometimes the AI likes to go in and in and in on a particular part of what you said and not the whole thing. So I think that's why I'm seeing all this here. But that's my bad. Either way, I'm gonna play a 30-second clip of Atlas here. Those of you who were here during the last live stream, wow. Those of you who were here during the last live stream probably already heard this clip, but there's always new people, and there's always a chance that you might have missed that part of the live stream. So I'm gonna play that here. Here we go. It's not going to start immediately because y'all know I do not have the file ready. Y'all know I do not have the file ready, and I'm gonna banter, and I'm gonna bamp, and I'm gonna banter, and I'm gonna look over here. I'm gonna this and that until my phone wants to load the song. Y'all